Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we have a new wave of Final Fantasy reveals. We've got the last two alternate commanders as well as one other one, and then a whole bunch of other little tidbits, which I'm pretty excited to talk to you guys about. I've talked about it previously. I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy just because I've never really got into the games and stuff like that, but the actual setting seems cool and these cards seem really, really awesome, so I'm very excited about this. The full stream is going to come out on the 10th, revealing a whole bunch more, the kind of like, launch stream and everything, and we'll be covering that here, so make sure you guys do subscribe. Usually I talk about this later on, but I'm saying it now. Make sure you subscribe because this is going to be your place to get the best instant speed breaking news for Magic the Gathering. So let's get into it. First up, we've got Yuna Grand Summoner. So she is the secondary commander for the banned precon. She has tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast a creature spell this turn, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. That is very important. This mana that you tap here does not need to be cast on a creature. It just buffs up the next creature, and it's just the next creature, right? So you can cast this and then cast an instant or sorcery and then cast a creature, and that creature will still have this kind of, delayed trigger on it. Then whenever another permanent you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had 1 or more counters on it, any counters, just 1 or more counters, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on target creature. So there is a huge amount of ways to be able to abuse the heck out of all of this. So let's go through it. As I said, she's the secondary commander for the Counter Blitz precon, alongside Titus Yuna's Guardian, who's all about, moving counters around and then proliferating. It works really well with her. So first thing, sagas. Sagas are absolutely huge with her. From what I know about the game, which is not very much, she had a lot of stuff to do with summons, and she was, wasn't it in her title? Yeah, she's a Grand Summoner. She has a lot of stuff to do with the new summons and stuff, and summons are essentially creatures that will get counters on them. They get the lore counters, and then when they hit that max lore counters, so 3 here, 4 here, they then get sacrificed. So they still have the counters on them when they go to the graveyard. Therefore, say for example with this one, when it goes to the graveyard, it's got 4 counters on it. Boom, you're putting 4 +1s onto things. So she is absolutely huge in any saga-based deck, whether it's just saga straight up or whether it's actually going into the new summon sagas. You're going to be able to use her really, really well with so many ways, like so many different decks for sagas. You also have stuff like the Ozolith, a resourceful defense. These kind of do a similar kind of thing. Whenever a permanent leaves with, counters on it, then those counters will move to a different permanent. This will work well with those as well, because not only will, the counters go onto, say, for example, a different creature, it then also will get the extra counters from Yuna. So therefore, you're getting like double the counters if you've got like just +1/+1 counters that are happening here. It's really cool. It's really great. If you wanted to build her as a +1/+1, counters creature-based deck, you could do that. If you want to build her as a saga-based deck, you could do that as well. Or just abuse the hell out of her and just go infinite. So with Feed from the Real and Yuna, that's infinite, right? Because you just tap her, add blue, use that blue to untap her with Freed from the Real, and then just tap her. So you just get this infinite loop of nothing much happening. You're not making mana or anything. But then this part here, this keeps stacking infinite +1/+1 counters onto whichever creature you do next. Oh boy. Yeah, and that's like a very, very cheap, easy combo to do. It's actually bonkers. And then the second part here doesn't really kind of work well with this part unless someone goes and then like, hey, look, you've got something with infinite counters on it. I'm going to remove that. And then you're with like Yuna, you're just like, yeah, okay, well then I'll just move my infinite counters over to this thing. Yeah, good job. Thank you for playing. It's actually absolutely bonkers. Like, yeah, she is insane. So next up we got is Hildebrand Mandeville, and what the hell is this? What is going on in this? Okay, I've not played Final Fantasy 14, despite my friend saying that we should be playing it. First of all, what is this zombie token? Secondly, he's standing here in the front. You've got this chick in the back just throwing bombs there. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's I don't know. It's really cool. He is obviously Orzhov because he's got, both black and white. Black down here with the adventure. He's going to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And then you can cast him as a creature later on. He has creature tokens you control get +1/+1. Great kind of banner there. Any creature tokens he works well with. And then also if he dies, you can cast him from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of turn. Keep in mind that casting him as an adventure from the graveyard will just cast him for 2 and a black. You don't need to cast him for, any kind of not summoning sixes, any kind of command attacks or anything. You just cast him for this, and then from exile, you then can just cast him as this, right? Like, so you could just bypass any kind of, command attacks with him. That's really, really good. I don't know. I really like it. So you could obviously go zombies with him, which is probably the way most people will go because zombies work well with him. He creates zombies. He buffs up zombie tokens. He's got a zombie-esque kind of ability there. When he dies, you get to cast him. Yeah, zombies obviously works really well with him. There's a bunch of zombie token stuff. There's a bunch of zombie synergies with Death Baron, Wayward Serpent. Great abilities to go with any kind of zombie token-based deck. Or you could just go any other direction, right? Like, Taser, if you just have him and Taser and Mirkwood Bats and any kind of token generation. You could build him as rabbits, right? You could build him with the Heir Apparents. Just get a huge amount of Heir Apparents. They're all getting the +1, like the hairs are getting the +1/+1s. And then also you get to, work well with everything else. There's just a bunch of ways. He's just got a banner for any creature tokens. So, Mirkwood Bats is definitely going to be in the deck no matter what you're doing. But yeah, it's going to be a good deck. Next, we've got Graha Tia Scion Reborn. I probably butchered that pronunciation. So they have lifelink, and then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X is that spell's mana value. Keep in mind you're doing it based off the mana value, not based off of whatever you paid. So if you cast it for free, then you still get to, pay the full mana value for it. If you do create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, put X +1/+1 counters on it. Do this only once each turn. So once each turn, does stuff to do with +1s, and then life loss. You lose life or pay life based off of it as well. And you're also, creating creature tokens for it. So this is the secondary commander for the Y'shtola Science and Spellcraft deck. That's just all based around casting non-creature spells. It's also casting as well, so you do need to cast them. It's not based off of them just entering the battlefield or anything. And this is also if a player lost 4 or more life this turn. So realistically, this makes you lose potentially 4 or more life. So that would actually synergize well with this part here. Not too bad. And then you got the life gain based off of here. So this is based around, this precon's based around card advantage and control. So stuff like, Alayla is going to go well here because it's non-creature spells. So the artifacts and enchantments are all going to work well with it. We've got Valley Floodcaller here to give everything non-creature flash, because of the fact that this only activates once each turn, not each of your turns. It will activate on opponent's turns as well, but only once on each of them. Casting things for flash on other people's turns means that we'll activate and you can get bigger tokens from it too. We've got Ghostly Prison or Norn's Annex, just big things that are going to stop you getting, hit, control pieces, control expensive enchantments / artifacts here. Keep in mind that if you do pay this 3 and then pay this with 4 life, the mana value of this card is still 5, so you're still going to get to pay 5 life. Technically, you'd be paying 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 life in total for that. Probably not the best way to do things, but it's still a great way to get a big creature out. Delny will trigger these twice. So, you've got this part here. You can do this twice, then pay that life twice if you wanted to. Oh, it says only do this once each turn. So I guess you wouldn't be able to. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't be able to because Delny wouldn't trigger it twice, but it does work well with, what's her face, Y'shtola, and will also make it so that Graha isn't blocked as well. So that way you are able to get that life link more, yeah, get the lifelink easier. And then stuff like Font of Agonies, whenever you pay life, do things, just destroy target creature. This is huge within my Baitor deck, and going to be great here as well. Into the other stuff that was real, that they showed some of these more, want to see the full card, etc. So we've got Squall Seed Mercenary, who is a white-black creature from Final Fantasy VIII. We've got Gilgamesh, Master at Arms from Final Fantasy V. Lightning Army of One from Final Fantasy 13 there. And then we've got Cloud Midgard Mercenary. Now, this one doesn't have the actual name or title on it. I'm just going to assume that this is it here. And obviously, you know, he's from Final Fantasy VII. And he's also a mythic. Are these all mythic? Lightning's a mythic. Squall's a mythic. Gilgamesh is a mythic as well. Oh, sorry. Squall's a rare. Gilgamesh is rare too. Interesting. So yeah, there's some really, really cool stuff that was shown here. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, make sure you subscribe because we're going to have all the news for you guys. Have a great day and goodbye.